Good morning, welcome to Thought for the Day. Well, last few days here have been a bit hectic, so I thought I would just dip into the news and see what's going on so we can make Thought for the Day pretty relevant. And after about 10 minutes, I thought, no, I've had enough of this. Never met so much depressing stuff in all my life, so I thought, no, scrub that. I'll tell you my week, or just over a week. The last few days. It's not a normal week by any stretch of the imagination, although some of it is becoming more normal, unfortunately. A few days ago, I had an early morning phone call from somebody, one of my clients, who rang us up and said, Derek, I'm in the car and I've decided I can't carry on. The business is failing. They've got all these debts. All these things are happening. I'm going up to a quarry. I've decided to commit suicide. Which is one of these strange phone calls that you really don't expect first thing in the morning. And we got chatting, and the interesting thing is, for some strange reason, I'm pretty sure it's God, to be honest. They were going to just kill themselves. They decided I've had enough. Can't carry on. And in their head dropped this word, ring up Derek, ring up your accountant. Which I don't think is the normal sort of thought process that most people have going through these things. But he did. And the upshot was we met, we got together, being very COVID friendly and keeping distance and all the rest of it. And in the end, obviously, things have gone on. Since then, he's rang me back to inform me that he's now got 4 or 5 more contracts than he even knew were on the cards. Life's turning round, things are happening and getting better. Same time, and I've just had a ping on my phone just as I was coming on to do this. I've got one of my clients as well, his wife has to fill in these forms on a 2-year basis at the moment so that she can stay in the country because he married somebody who's not a UK resident. And so we have to go through all these different things. We have to send off loads of information and forms. And for some strange reason, whoever's at the other end asks for some information, you get it, and then they ring up and say, oh, can we have this as well? And can we have this as well? So I've sent them a nice email saying, look, just tell us what you want. Give us a shopping list, and we can get on and do it rather than doing it in little bits. All this going on, and I get a phone call from somebody to say, hey, I've been told that I can get £6 a week allowance because I've had to work from home, which is true, you can. So they want to know how to collect that. So we've sorted that out. And somebody else rang up and said, don't I get a uniform allowance? Well, the answer is yes, and I've already claimed it for you. Oh, right, okay. Furlough. This fantastic furlough scheme that's been reducing and altering is going to be taken over by the job support scheme. This kicks in 3 days on the revenue website a few minutes ago, and the calculations and how to work it out are going to be released after the end of November. It's pretty great considering it's supposed to start and go live from the 1st of November. And there are no calculations. There's an idea set of calculations because the Chancellor changed his mind again, which is not a problem because it works out it's going to be better for everybody. It'd be nice if they shared how that was going to happen a little bit before time. So then I get a phone call from an employer. Well, not a phone call. I was actually doing some things and they contacted us. He's got staff. He doesn't know whether he's going to keep his staff beyond furlough or not. I don't know whether it'll be worth it. And I'm going, well, he said, what the figure's going to be? I said, I honestly don't know. Nobody knows because nobody's actually done the calculations. Well, in fact, that's partly not true. They have done the calculations, but they're all done in pen script, for want of a better word, phrase. And it makes the Gettysburg Address look like something on the back of a postcard. It is massive. and you have to work out a percentage of this and then divide it by 66.67. Then you take a percentage of something else and you end up with a figure. That figure then gets, it goes on and on and on. Certainly not going to bore you with that. But it puts a lot of uncertainty around. And there is a lot of uncertainty. The little bit of news that I heard, tragically people have died trying to get to this country. And people that are here are having problems as well. And you think, wow, and it can put you to a point where you would actually despair. But you've got to also throw into the pot something completely different to all of this, and that is God. You know, if you've got a faith, if you've got a belief in somebody who is bigger than the problem, whatever the problem is, bigger than the problem, then he's promised he's not going to leave us. He's not going to take a toilet break, as was the comment made by the prophet of old when he was having to go at the prophets of Baal. It was, surely hasn't gone off to the toilet. No, our God doesn't go off to the toilet. He doesn't have a break. He doesn't have time out. He's there. And the thing is, you look back and there's so many parts of our life that he's a part of, and so many things he's brought us through. I started to sit down after listening to the news for a short while and thinking, wow, this is crazy. And then I started to think, well, hang on a minute. Let's, the old song used to be, count your blessings, name them one by one, and you'll be absolutely amazed at what God has done. And, you start doing that. Start counting your blessings. Start mentioning out loud, talking, say, God, thank you for this. Thank you for that. And suddenly the spirit of faith within you starts to rise up and say, yeah, we are more than overcomers. We are more than conquerors through Christ, not through us, but through Christ. The situations we're all going through at the moment. Why do people react so differently? Because there's loads of different things going on in our lives. There's loads of, some have got hope, some have got no hope. We should be the people of hope, because I'm discovering that hope is a very powerful weapon in the spiritual arsenal. And just on a bit of a side, a few months ago now, I was saying I'd been sideswiped by this compliance visit that I've been told we've got to have. I had it, went through it, and I got the results yesterday, and the practice has got a good. There's only one thing higher than a good, and that's an exceptionally excellent, or whatever it is, but good is way up there, and that's fantastic. So thanking the Lord for that. I worried a lot about it because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how it was I knew what the impact could be if we got it wrong, and we didn't get it wrong. And the interesting thing is that things that I've been doing that are really, do I really want to do that? But I did it. And I reckon, a lot of the time it was God sitting on my shoulder, giving me a kick every now and again when needed to say, you need to do this. But you don't need to do this because it needs to be done. Just do it unto the Lord. As run what you're doing as if I was sitting here checking on it. When you start to do things differently, it's interesting. One of the comments made by the person who did the inspection, he was quite impressed, and I had an opportunity of sharing the gospel with him. I wouldn't have been able to do that had we had a business that was in crisis, or a business that was certainly not going for a good standard, but was in a bad way. Little things. There isn't anything that we are going to face or we are going to go through that God either hasn't been there before, or doesn't understand it before, or hasn't already made provision for it. So take heart. Don't be troubled. Don't get overly excited about all the things that are going on. Yes, there's some terrible things, but God is still in charge. God still loves you. He wants the best for you. And what I want to say again, like I normally do, is, have a fantastic day. Have a blessed day. And we'll see you later. Bless you.